And welcome back to the dock side. You're here with me, OneManJack. And this is a momentous occasion. I finally have enough money and research to buy the fucking bounce plating. Bounce plating reduces damage from environmental collisions by 100% for a short period after activating a movement ability. So I will no longer kill myself when I dash into wall because, Darko's right. I have a tendency to drive my ships like bumper cars. But either way, let's go find us a graveyard. So how are we supposed to find these graves if they can move anywhere in the galaxy? If Hapti were here, we could use his forelight sensors to measure every tug of gravity. But as it is, our best bet is to follow their ionic trail. How are these graves leaving trails? They are not, but apparently the caretaker is equipped with some massive engines. Search for the trail. Okay. This is where Hapti spotted Calypso. Are we picking up a trail? Yeah, it's faint, but definitely heading in this direction. Ooh. Prospector and ghouls. There's supposed to be a sage buried here with his corona, all 42 molecules of Duril. That'll bring in enough plex to float your brains in the finest beverages for a decade. But it's also likely to bring in some heavy competition, so keep your sensors sweeping. You got it, boss! I wonder if I can damage him. Hear that? A sage with his corona? Sounds like our guy. That's probably the grave he was sent to go. Don't even think about it, brub. This is our claim. I can honestly say that I haven't thought of it because I don't even know what you're talking about. Don't get chinny. I mean the graveyard. It's our quarry. I'm not here to steal anything, just to pay my respects. Oh yeah? Those aren't flowers in your weapons bay. How entirely right. You died in a record breathtaking quarter second. This must be another sage. What luck, a double score! But this one's still alive. Well, change that, you son of a doe. What, so he's a deer? Doe a deer? A female deer? I know all about that. That's right, I have stories to tell. I haven't told them yet. How kind of you to deliver another corona. Looks like I'll be doubling my profits. Kinda don't want to tell those stories here, because, like, it's a story, like, some stories I can just tell, like, yeah, I totally broke a dude's arm yesterday, it was ballin'. But some things, like, I really need to focus on. And this game is not good for my focus, because if I focus on things that aren't game, I tend to die very quickly. Oh, dramatization. I did not break a dude's arm. I'm not the type to get into bar fights and shit like that. I died after I killed him. Alright, I'll be right back. Ah, there we go, that wasn't that hard. A sage's mind is a dangerous mind. So, like I was saying, as you just saw, if I stop paying attention, I die. So any of, like, the really involved stories, like the first time I killed a deer, a buck, I should say, hunting, legally, that's a story that I want to tell, like, when I'm just going to tell a story, which means I'm probably gonna have to learn how to pre-record some footage and then layer my voice over that, which is a good skill to know how to do. Picking up an unidentified ship. Hail it. No response. Scan it again. Running scans. Scans complete. These ships belong to the deceased that are interred at this graveyard. They must be acting as some sort of security, piloted by zombie AI. Really? Zombies. Yeah. Zombies. Why not drones? Shh. It's spookier this way. Oh, okay, Nero. I didn't know that you were invested in the spook factor. My mistake. Man, I've got... Oh god, it's another time gate. Okay, well... I honestly kind of want to just cut these time-gated portions out, because I feel like they're boring. They don't really add anything. It's like, I'm killing a bunch of zombies, doing the exact same thing over and over, primarily overruled by waiting. It's a lot of waiting, and not a lot of much else. Oh, I can tell. Oh, I do have one short story to tell. This one's fun. So, I work at a sandwich shop, and I'm the cashier. I've said this a couple times. Gonna keep saying it as like a prelude to the stories, just in case anyone hasn't religiously watched every single episode I've ever done. Because really, who has fucking time for that? Man, now it's gonna be like, if there is anyone who's watched everything I do, they're gonna be like, wow, thanks, man. Good to know you value your loyal. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Story! So, I work at a sandwich joint. I'm the cashier. And I take pride in my work. Like, I'm not perfect, but I have a very good, I've got a very good ratio of orders done correctly to orders fucked up. That is to say, I don't often make mistakes when I'm taking people's orders. It does happen. Nobody's perfect. But it happens very, very rarely. And the few times it has happened in recent memory, it has been because the customer confused me, and then when I confirmed the customer's order at the end, the customer confirmed a correct order. Which happens surprisingly often if you're talking a lot and you misunderstand them and they misunderstand you. But that wasn't what happened. What happened was this guy walks in, old man with his grandson, and it was a football game day weekend, so I imagine it was the extended family. They were buying food for the whole family, and then they were gonna go home and, like, just have family dinner or something like that. So I take his order, like I always do, and I get to the end of the order, and I know he was ordering for the whole family because the total order was $85 worth of sandwich. That is a lot of sandwich. It was like 8 different menu items, a whole lot of food. And so he hands me my card, I swipe it, it says declined call. Now, declined call means card was declined, call the credit card company. But I am under explicit orders from management to not bother with that, because when it says declined call and we call the credit card companies, 99 times out of 100 it means, oh yeah, that person, they've got horrible credit. Yeah, we're not giving them any more credit, so just don't take the card. So we stopped doing that to save our customers some embarrassment. Just like, I'm sorry, your card was declined, and it's nothing I can do. You have some other form of payment. Like, no, swipe it again. Like, okay, I'll swipe it again. Card declined. No, it must be a problem with your machine. Try it again. Like, okay, I'll put the numbers in manually. And I know it's not a problem with the machine, because declined call means the credit card company declined it. Not that our machine had trouble reading it. No, that's declined error or declined fail. That means our machines had a problem. No, declined call means the credit card company has declined to give them any more credit. So, oh god, I love it when they're all grouped up like that and I can just, boom. They are getting severely annoying, though. How did... Good lord, there are so many zombies there. Sorry about that. So, decline... So, I put the guy's card number in manually, just to make sure that it isn't some problem with the machine. Once again, it's like decline call, right? And so, it's decline, call credit card company. So I say, I'm sorry, sir, that's nothing I can do. It's declined your card. There's no solution that I have for that. Do you have some other means of payment? It's like, alright, put that order on hold, I'll be right back. So, but by the time to get that point, if I am swiping the customer's card, it has already sent the order back to the kitchen. Yeah, alright. Found the graveyard, let's get out of here. So it already sent the order back to the kitchen, and I'm taking way too long to tell this. Sorry. So he walks out, but the order's already sent back to the kitchen, and there's a line of customers. I'm like, excuse me for a moment. I gotta run back to the kitchen and say, hey, this $85 worth of food, don't make it. The guy tried to pay for it, he couldn't, card declined, don't make it yet. And so everyone's like, oh, yeah, definitely, don't make this order if the guy hasn't paid for it yet. So they trash that receipt. I keep his order in my register, unpaid for, but I keep the order there so they don't have to order again. And I continue going through my day. There's the graveyard. So I don't see him again. I see his grandson. He sends his grandson back in with $100 worth of 20s to pay for the $85 order. And when I was talking it over with my manager later, she was like, yeah, it was probably because he was too embarrassed because he has horrible credit that his credit card got declined. He didn't want to come and talk to you again to explain it. That's why he sent his kid in. It's like, yeah, probably. So take the money. I resend the order back to the kitchen like, hey, order's good. They paid with cash. Go ahead and make it. They make the order. I gather the desserts because there were a whole bunch of desserts. We send them out the door. And I thought that was the end of it. There's a caretaker, not sure. Ionization trace, no trace of the hole. Proceed with caution. I don't know. Hold down the thrust carefully to proceed with caution. Good plan, so I won't use my afterburners. So, we send them out the... Ooh, yeah, that's the graveyard. We send them out the door, and all is good for a while, and we get a call on the telephone at some point later that night, probably like 45 minutes later, and everyone was busy, so I pick up and I do my usual spiel. Howdy, my name is Jack. How can I make your night... Thank you for calling Schlotsky's. How can I make your night lots better? And the customer says... It's a female voice. She says, well, Jack, I am glad it's you that I'm talking to. No, it was... She said... It's appropriate that it's you I'm talking to, because you're the one that ruined my night. Oh, fuck. Hello, caretaker. Sweet mother of Ram! I think I just dumped my solid-state memory. The talk? I doubt it. Getting a message asking if we want to buy a plot before we die. That sounds like a threat if ever I've heard one. I'll buy a plot. Since we're future residents, we're allowed passage into the graveyard. Visit as often as you'd like, it says, and come back soon. ... How cheerful. So, I wanted to show off that you can buy a plot. I'm gonna restart the mission and fight him, because it's fun. So, she calls, she's like, it's appropriate I'm talking to you, because you're the one that ruined my night. I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't follow. You owe me a turkey, you owe me a Tuscan turkey ciabatta. I'm like, yeah, there's this, it's on the order. We didn't get that sandwich. Okay, I apologize, ma'am. It's on the receipt, it's on the order, it's on the paper that was sent back to the kitchen. Let me get my manager, and I'll talk it, and you can talk it over with her. And at that point, I exited that scene because I took her order correctly. I took everything on their order. The missing sandwich was on the receipt, and they did pay for it. It got sent back to the kitchen. And what happened was, because it was just such a huge order and we were really busy, mistakes get made, and the order went out the door short that one sandwich. It says, the plex collected from the wreckage of your ship will be used to fund your compulsory funeral. So I kind of exit the story at that moment, but my manager, Magpie, she is on the phone with this woman for quite a while. Like, she's on the phone. It takes a while for them to suss out what's going wrong. And I was busy doing other things. I mean, they don't pay me to stand around in rubbernecks, so I had to go and do other stuff. And I hear afterwards from Magpie, she was like, yeah, she wanted us to refund it, and I was like, yeah, okay, you can, she said, you can either come back in, and we'll give you the sandwich, and usually free dessert as well. It's usually like a Cinnabon or something that we give customers. She's like, come back in and get a free sandwich, or I can add you to the guest opportunities book, so that next time you're here, we can properly compensate you. And the guest opportunities book, it's nothing fancy. It's just this little, like, school-style binder of names for things that we fucked up on. And it's like, we owe these guests a good time. Like, we gave them... that sounded weird. We gave these guests a poor experience, and so we owe them. And she's like, I don't want to be put in the guest opportunities book, and I'm already drove away half an hour. Just refund the purchase. And she's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. The purchase was made in cash, and I cannot remotely refund your cash. Okay, would you like to drive back in and get the sandwich, or would you like to go in the guest opportunities book? And she's like, my husband paid with his credit card. You have his credit card number. She's like, no, your husband's credit card was declined. And I could see on her face when she said this, I could see just the look of satisfaction that she had sticking it to this witch, because she was yelling at my manager. Like, she was not happy. Shooting explosive coffins isn't the best way to protect a graveyard, at least he was eating. So she stuck it to him, and she was like, eventually it was settled. She went in the guest opportunities book because she lived half an hour away, and she couldn't just jaunt back in to get the sandwich, because that would mean an hour round trip. And I feel for her. I do. I live half an hour away from work. I know exactly how that... What am I doing? Oh, that's right. I'm finding one of these tombstones. This one? Yeah, this one. Hello. But it's like, well, what do you want us to do? We can't... You paid cash, so we can't refund you. You can either come get the sandwich, or we'll give you something free next time. But she wasn't having any of that until Mag made it clear that made it very clear that was all she was getting. So she was in a huff, and afterwards, Maggie's telling everyone the story, and I added in, yeah, she told me I ruined her day, and I politely pointed out that I correctly took the order, and she was like, oh my gosh, she did not say that to you. And I'm like, yeah, she did, but I did what I could. And Maggie was like, yeah, I'm the one that fucked up the order. My manager was the one who made the mistake. They were making the sandwiches, and she didn't see the sandwich, like, on the ticket. And it was actually, no, it was two people who messed it up, because there's one person at the front of the sandwich line, one person at the back, and neither one of them neither one saw this Tuscan ciabatta just, like, slipped in between two other orders. It was... Oh man, she was a witch, though. What? Who's knocking on my coffin? What are you doing in there? I live here! I can see that, but why do you live there? Have you ever seen an extinguisher? Seen what they can do? Well, I have, and if it's all the same to you, I'd prefer my remains be kept in a box, not scattered across the universe. You're just waiting here until you die. Say that like it's so terrible. You know that once people lived on a single planet their whole lives, some of them that never even went further than a few hundred miles from their city at birth. That's me. Not quite, though. I've been around the rings, now I spend my time on the Subrostrum. It's infinitely more spacious and frankly more interesting. I keep giving all of the sages hillbilly accents, but they're that kind of weirdo, shut-away... No offense to anyone who's a hillbilly, or speaks with that accent, but all of this, with the exception of Calypso, all of the sages I've met so far have been very unrefined loners who spend their time far away from society, and that's kind of, like, the hillbilly voice just fits that. Seems I have more visitors. Wish he missed people as visitors on a daily basis. But that reminds me, did Algrey Calypso happen to come by here recently? He did. One of the few people whose presence outweighs the inconvenience of his visit. He's the one that gave me this corona, after all. What did he come here for? I'm not going to tell you. Matters of love are meant to be private. He's your lover. Don't be daft. Calypso's love is divided between freedom and the fairest femme of the first path, Cornelius Starlet. Yeah, you see? Now I've said too much. This is why I hate people. Sorry. Tell you what. You promise not to tell Calypso I told her that. I'll teach you a macro. Deal? I love macros. Right, now hop in my sarcophagus. Oh, the puns. So many good puns in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I love puns. So, man, I should end this episode here. It's getting a little long. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I will. That is my curtain calling, whether I see it or not. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, drop a like. If you got comments, say something. If you loved it, put a favorite. But either way, must bid you all adieu until I see you next time on the dark side.